it's important.
I think it's important for the story of Tulsa race riots to continue to be told.
Much of it is for any great tragedy in world history, because we need to continue to learn from it.
Taking place in Oklahoma. Police are looking for a lone
The two suspects in the Tulsa, Oklahoma shooting spree have been charged with first-degree murder.
Well, I think nationally, they were very quick to say hate crime.
Talk about hate crimes.
Murders are a hate crime.
Been a hate crime.
Hate crime.
hate crimes.
The media is focused on what's going to sell. And death penalty cases, especially lurid ones that involve race or sex, seems to be what sells. People are utterly fascinated by these kinds of things, and the more they're fascinated, the more they watch. The more they watch, the more advertising revenue people get.
We've had actually more hate crimes committed since the president's been in office than we have in the last 25 years.
I think people need to realize we don't put a lot of importance on calling it a hate crime when we have a murder.
5 people shot in one night's bad. 5 black people all shot in one night makes you go,
A white truck pull up and asked me about our address. Next thing I know, they start shooting.
Folks who gathered tonight say the loss of the 3 shooting victims, Donna Fields, Bobby Clark, and William Allen, only highlight their troubles.
You know, Bobby was like one of my best friends in the world. Good man. You couldn't ask for it. The dude was a good guy.
Racial hatred in America is deep because it's taught and tolerated and it's intergenerational.
It just reminded me of the destruction that we saw 91 years earlier.
While race relations were clearly bad throughout the American South, regrettably, we're the only community to have had a genocide.
As much as we talked about racial segregation and Jim Crow laws in the 1920s, Tulsa was different.
Before the riots, you had a community that, although that it was separated by race, it was very vibrant. It was so vibrant that many would call it a magic city because of the fact that the oil boom era was in full effect here in Tulsa.
There were no other communities where you had such a diversified business community with the cleanings and the shoe place and the haberdasheries.
And then all of that changed on May 31st because there was a report which was false.
This guy that worked downtown at the hotel, he got on the elevator and it shifted and he bumped into the lady.
So when the elevator door opens, see how it was raped, bingo, there it starts.
You throw into this combustible mixture a tolerance of lynching, a tolerance of denying civil liberties to a group of people because of the pigment in their skin. So you get a violent society, young males looking for a wild time on a Saturday night away from those watching eyes of the community and civil behavior. You throw all of this together with this racism, and on May 31st, 1921, it erupts.
I was very upset because they came through the backyard with those big pine things lighted, you know, the kinds of things that they set fires with, and they burned my doll clothes first. Grandma had made my doll beautiful clothes, and they were hanging on the clothesline. And to see them burn my doll clothes was my real first encounter with real prejudice, you know.
When you tell the real story of a person, of a neighborhood, when you visit it and viscerally begin to understand what it is the person is facing, you can start to change people's minds.
The scar for Tulsa of 1921 still exists. It will always be present on our bodies here in Tulsa.
It's almost like it happened 10 years ago instead of more than 90 years ago.
We've gone from open warfare, like what happened in 1921, to a much more insidious form of racial divide in this country.
It's left to be seen yet as to whether he was motivated to act in any way out of racial animus. I don't think he was.
The Good Friday murders in Tulsa are important because they have the potential for revealing something about who we are as a people.
Historically, like it or not, that's part of the heritage of this community. If we don't openly talk about it, we got to make sure it never, ever happens again.